Well, how about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. I went to the feed store the other day to start collecting supplies for our upcoming kidding season, which is 3 weeks away. And they had most everything I wanted. I had to go to Tractor Supply, get a couple things, but I figured I'd show you kind of the stuff that I'd like to have on hand as the kidding season is approaching quickly. Yesterday, we actually vaccinated our goats for with CD&T. That's the Clostridium perfringens type C and D tetanus toxoid. This is a Barvac brand. There's several brands. I didn't get a video made of that. I had some friends that could come over real quick and we could knock it out. So we knocked it out real quick. I apologize. We didn't record it, but basically it was just giving them a shot. But that's kind of what triggered this video. I had to go get this stuff to vaccinate our does. So we'll just kind of go through everything and talk about it. Everything that I like to keep on hand at least. So I just mentioned the Clostridium perfringens tetanus toxoid, or CD&T as most people call it. This right here is something that we give our does annually. We like to give this about 4 weeks before they're kidding, and we are a little late this year, but it'll be okay. We like to give this about a month before kidding so that the does can get this stuff into their colostrum, so those babies have it in their system as soon as they're born. But basically, this is going to help them from protecting those kids from overeating disease and just a tetanus shot in case they get hurt or anything like that. It'll cover them for that. So we will be giving our kids this again whenever we wean them, but until then, they will kind of be protected through the colostrum from the mom. With that, I bought something this year, and this is an automatic syringe gun. It's not really the best. I kind of cheaped out. The one I really wanted was out of stock, and it was going to be a while till they got a new one in. So I went ahead and purchased this. Like I said, it's not my favorite. Maybe we can use it as a drench gun or something. I didn't grab my drench gun. It's pretty similar to this. It just has a tube that you stick in their mouth. But kind of going down the line, I just got a whole bunch of stuff on the table here. We're just going to kind of look at it as we go. So another thing I like to keep on hand, especially during the spring or kidding season or any high stress times for our goats, is cord. I have it in a liquid form and a powder form. I like to use the liquid form whenever I have a single goat that's really showing some signs of coccidia. I will, give them some drenches of this every day. The directions are on the back. Or if just during high stress times, as far as like kidding and weaning and things like that, I will mix this stuff into the water and just treat the whole herd. Goats have coccidia in them all the time. It's just in high stress situations, their immune system goes down, and the coccidia can kind of take over. So this is something great to have on hand, especially during kidding season. Another thing I like to have, I don't have the other tube that I normally keep, but this is selenium vitamin E in gel. If I have a weak kid, I don't give this to them all, but if I have a weak kid that's kind of weak on their legs, just kind of lagging behind, I'll give them this. A lot of times if you see a kid that can't really stand their legs up, or their feet's kind of buckling or something like that, it's normally a selenium deficiency. Hopefully we got that taken care of through our mineral program, but you never know, so we like to keep this on hand. And I said I don't have the other tube that I like to have. I like to keep some electric lights in a tube. The feed store was out of those at the time. It's just something good if you got a mom that kind of gets a little down, that starts to have the runs, or a kid that has the runs. You can give them a little bit of electric lights, kind of keep them hydrated until they can get rid of whatever they've got. Another thing that I use a good bit on weak kids, or any sick goat that's just kind of weak, is it's going to be goat Nutri-Drench. Typically, I don't really like to touch the kids at all, give them anything. But if they need it, this is the first thing I make sure I get into them. This has just got a lot of vitamins and minerals in it that's just going to help that kid get a little jump start going. I better keep things separated so I know what I've been through. Needles. I don't have all my needles on me. I need to purchase some more. But I use a 20 gauge needle for the goats. It doesn't really bother them too bad. 4 is sub-Q, or right under the skin like this CD&T shot is. I use a 1/2 inch 20 gauge needle. I don't even know if the camera will pick it up. Just a little small needle. You can poke it all the way in and give a sub-Q shot. And then for the muscle, this one's bent. Like I said, I need to get some new ones. I use a 20 gauge. This is about a 1 inch, maybe an 1.25 inch needle, and that works well. I keep several syringes on hand at all times. But I've got a whole little tray of bottles and stuff, so we'll kind of go through here and see what I've got. This is Prohibit. This is a dewormer that you can mix. I've got some mixed up in this mason jar already. This is probably old, but this is a wormer I've used for probably about 3-4 years now. We've got a little bit of parasite resistance to it, so that when we started doing a combination wormer with valbazen. Prohibit doesn't harm a goat while it's pregnant or around kidding. Where the valbazen, I've read that there is some troubles with valbazen causing abortion. We haven't wormed our goats, dewormed them with anything since they've been bred. None of them showing sign of being weak or anemic or anything like that. So we're not gonna worm if we don't have to. But these are the 2 wormers we're using right now. It's a valbazen and Prohibit. I don't have all the facts in front of me, so I don't want to lead you wrong and go into depth on those. Another thing we have is Safeguard. It's just another dewormer that has a little bit different chemical makeup to it, so it hits a little bit different. It's not as strong as your Prohibit or valbazen. This is just kind of a weak dewormer. I really don't use this at all. It's probably out of date. I haven't used it so long. It went out of date last month, so that's how long it's been since I've used this. Another thing I keep a bunch of is always keep vitamin B, fortified vitamin B complex on hand, especially during kidding, especially during times of the year that goats are more acceptable to stress and parasites. Vitamin E, if a goat's weak, kind of lethargic, I said vitamin B, didn't I? Vitamin B is gonna give them a little bit of energy. It's gonna boost their appetite, make them want to eat some more, so that'll make them drink, stay hydrated. Vitamin B is a great vitamin to keep on hand. This is just intramuscular, 5 cc's for a full-grown goat, about 2.5 for a kid. One good thing about this stuff, you can't overdose it. I mean, I wouldn't go out and put a bunch of it in them, but this is something that you can do twice a day, 5 cc's for a grown goat. Anything they don't take in, they're just gonna urinate out. But this has saved a lot of goats' lives in the past couple of years, at least for me. Another thing I keep on hand is this is LA200. It is a all-purpose antibiotic. If I have to pull a kid, if my hands go inside of a goat, I don't keep gloves on here. So if my hand goes inside of goat, I'll of course wash it first, but I'm gonna hit her with LA200 just because any kind of bacteria or anything on my hands, I don't want to be trapped in that uterus and she doesn't get it out and cause an infection. And if goats get cuts and stuff like that, and if I need it, this is what I go to. It's just a LA200. It's very generic, all-purpose dewormer. A couple other things, I didn't go over this. These are my ear taggers, ear tag gun, whatever you want to call it. I don't have any ear tags on me. I'm actually ordered some about a week ago. I'm hoping they're going to get here before kidding season. I've got some coming from Premier One that is going to be colored. It's going to have numbers. I think of this year I'm going to go, so this year is 2022. I'll explain all this, but we're going to have, the first 2 numbers will be 22, 0, 1, and then we're going to go down the line. That way all my does are going to get a colored ear tag, because those are probably the ones that's going to be staying. I'm not really trying to sell any does right now. I'm trying to grow the herd, and I want to be able to keep track of the does versus the bucks by the colored ear tags, and also that 22 on it will let me know what year that kid was born if I'm just looking at them. My males are just getting the generic USDA scabies tag that they send you. So I had to order some more of those as well. This is just another dewormer. I don't really use this anymore. It's out of date, I think. I need to clean up my medicine cabinet. But this is ivermectin. I'm sure you've heard of Ivermec if you've done any kind of dewormer. Same chemical property in here, the same thing. It's just what our local feed store sells. It's a little cheaper than ivermectin, but I don't use this anymore. It's just something I keep on hand. I need to throw that bottle away. It's probably out of date. Another great thing to keep on hand, especially if you got some goats that get weak, get ran down with parasites and get anemic, and that's going to be red cell. Red cell has a lot of iron in it. It's going to help your goats get back the iron in their system so they can get over the anemia quicker. This is just going to kind of help boost them off. This is something that you'll give every day for 5-6 days, and then you'll take a couple breaks, like a couple days, and then you'll start back with it again. It's really going to boost them and help them recover as quickly as possible. Typically, if I have a goat that's down with the worms or anything like that, my protocol is number one, deworm them, and then I'm going to be giving this and this vitamin B and also cord at the same time, just kind of helping wipe out everything at once. Something I had to buy last year, I've never bought before, but I'll keep on hand, is this chlorhexidine solution. Our local feed store sells this as well. Basically, this is just kind of a disinfectant. Last year I had a doe. I made a video on it. At first I thought it was mastitis, and then I thought it was a couple other things. I thought she had a cut on her udder, but what I really do think it is now is I think it's called foot and mouth disease, where she had some scabs on her udder that got infected, and the kids that she was nursing also had some little scabs around their lips and stuff, and I think they gave it to her on the udder. But anyways, it got so painful for her that she couldn't let the kids nurse, and the kids just looked miserable, kind of weak because they wasn't getting enough milk. So I bought this stuff, and you dilute it, and you can spray the infected area, whatever, and just keep it clean. So it cleaned it up pretty quick within a couple of days. Dried it out, got it disinfected, killed all the bacteria. So I'm gonna keep this stuff on hand. I hope I don't ever have to use it again, but if so, I've got it. It'd be a great cleaner for, all this syringes and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. That's what I keep on hand. Every year I think I pick up another thing here and there, but I'm hoping eventually I can get away from keeping this much medicine. It's always nice to have it on hand. But eventually I'd like to get to some goats that are hands-free. They're out in the pasture. They have kids out in the pasture. I don't have to mess with them. Good mamas, but that's going to be several years down the road as we continue to cull nannies. But until then, I guess I'll keep all this medicine, and we'll give it to them if needed. Hopefully I don't have to give them anything. But I hope y'all enjoyed this short little video. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to go over a lot of things that I keep on hand, and hope it'll help you out in your kidding season. Before I let you go, I'll give you my top 5 things that you need to have on hand going into kidding season. That's going to be your dewormers, number 1, cord, number 2, selenium, paste, Nutrigent, and red cell. If I had to get rid of everything, those are the 5s I'd have to have, or I definitely would want here at the farm as we go into kidding season. But with that being said, I really hope you really enjoy this video. I hope this helps you, and I hope y'all have a great kidding season if y'all are kidding now. If not, whenever y'all start, hope you have a good one then. But I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see y'all on the next one.